Hello and welcome back to HLS Crypto. My name is Dan. I'll just move myself out the way as normal. Crypto crashes, panic and fear, ETF to launch. Calm down, calm down. It's not that deep. It could be a lot worse. So there's blood in the streets today, but is it a crash? Let's look at the likely factors here. Well, I think one of the key ones is obviously what is on everyone's mind is this ETF. People are putting a lot of emphasis on how important this ETF is. For me, the importance of it is not as big as other things and other factors. But I know that a lot of people are concerned about it because it's been the narrative now for a little while. So the SEC, according to this report, will reject all Bitcoin spot ETFs in January, says Matrixport analyst after shorting Bitcoin. Now, a lot of these things get eaten up pretty quickly. A lot of these things may have much more negative effects. But as we move on, we know the ETF is coming. Is this already priced in? Is it? It's possible, but does anyone truly know? Well, no, they don't. But it could be true. It could be. It might be. It might not be. You might see the biggest pump ever straight after the ETF. You might see a crash. You just don't know. You just don't know. Do I think we're likely to have a dip? In my opinion, yeah, I still think there's a dip coming. I said that probably January might be the time, purely because of the cost of Christmas, the cost of the holiday season for people. They're probably thinking, well, some people are panic selling at the minute, which I think would be a very, very silly thing to do, in my opinion. Could you have taken profits on some of the things that have pumped? Yeah, maybe you could have done. I'm not going to be going down that strategy because you can take these profits. You think you're gonna wait for that dip and buy back in, and then it just goes, and then you never get to catch that up again, and that's also a fear. So there's two ways of people being fearful. One is to miss out because they've sold too early, or to miss out because they didn't get in time. Right? The markets have been particularly bullish for the past couple of months. I think we can all agree on that. For me, the ETF isn't the biggest thing to worry about, and why, you might ask. Because I believe we're going to see a bull run with or without an ETF. Like, it's coming. It's coming. I think the ETF will be approved. I don't think there'll be issues with that. When it comes, I don't know. I mean, it could come far later. But it will get approved in some shape or form soon, at some point. When, we don't know. But I think the bull run, that'll still happen with or without. Another question that we discussed, and this was on the private call we had today, is this, and I think it's a significant question, and the answer to deal with this may be easier than we think. Will the bull run be topped in 2024 and not, as we expect, in 2025? Well, I've showed you this before. We're now in the very early days of 2024, so we're kind of like there. So as we can see historically, halving being around about kind of here, we can see that crypto then goes and forms its new all-time high as not only a market cap, but for Bitcoin that'll hit its all-time high and things like that. If we are to stick with the same cycle, could this happen in 2024? Maybe, but I'm still kind of looking at 2025. I still think the original plan, I'm still going to stick obviously with that. So you can see the importance of setting targets and having an exit strategy, right? And the reason why this is because if we do get a big pump to like here at the end of 2024, and my altcoins have hit the targets that I intend to sell them at, then I'll sell them in 2024. That's fine. I might leave 5 or 10% in, for 2025 if the bull run's going to continue. But if I've got what I set out as my target plan from the start, then it makes no sense for me to hold on even further. I've got a layering out strategy, as you know. I've got an exit strategy, which is based around setting the targets that I think these coins can get to, and having a minimum and a maximum expectation and layering out between the two. And then maybe, yeah, if the market is still full of absolutely bullish sentiment, I may leave that little bit in just to see what it can go and get. But you should absolutely plan your exit strategy now. It's super important. Whether you do it on a piece of paper, write down the coins that you've got, work out what your minimum, maximum area is that you want to be taking profits into. And if they get hit in 2024, I'm gonna be taking mine if they hit my targets in 2024, because it makes no sense to me to hold on for things that I wouldn't necessarily need. Obviously, it'd be great to time the top, but we won't do that. We won't time the top. If you do, you're extremely lucky or an absolute genius. I am neither of those two things. So I'm going to make sure that I take profits when my targets have been met. Obviously not financial advice. You have to do whatever you want to do, but I think it's super important to have that exit strategy. Do I think we'll top out in 2024? No, I don't. But if it happens, then that's fine. As if the projects, like I said before, hit the levels I want, I'm getting out. I'm not ready to risk further gains for the next day to come back into a bear market. Like I did that in 2021. There's no way I'm doing that now. I'm far more conservative to the last bull run because I held for far too long, and I will not be doing that again. Will not be doing that again. Should you buy now? Well, it's another interesting answer, as it completely depends on you. It has to be your decision on what you want to do. I anticipate a further pullback, and I don't want to buy big green candles. And for examples, there are a couple of projects that I still think will be a good buying zone, but one that I really want to get, but I'm waiting for a certain price to come back. So I'll have a quick show of you that now. If you have a quick look at Bitcoin, you can see what happened today with the dip. It did go down quite considerably, and it's kind of rallying a little bit again because the sentiment is so high at the minute. If you look at Trias, for instance, now Trias again is starting to come up, but in the 24-hour period, we can see that dip, and Trias is rallying back nicely. Can I be buying Trias at $13.72? Even though I believe it's a three-figure coin, I would need a little retracement in that. And I haven't quite filled my Trias bag. I still need to put a little bit more into Trias, but the entry price is so good that I would just increase my entry price by buying it right now. And I know I won't probably get, if it does dip, $2-3 again. That's very, very unlikely. But if it comes down a little bit more, maybe another $5 off this point, then maybe I'll finish accumulating my bag. But again, the scarcity of this project, I think it's going to do really, really well. This SEI is absolutely flying. You can see how quickly that dip was eaten up. I don't own any of this. I think I came far too late to that one. ICP. Now this is another interesting one, right? I want to buy this at 10 British pounds, which is around like $11-12 maybe. So that needs to come down a little bit for me to go and get a bag of, because I think this is going to do really, really well. Again, it absolutely ate the dip. But if we look at its max chart, we can see that it is significantly down, and I explain why in my ICP videos. Sam Bankman-Fried, and obviously the FTX situation, the heavy manipulation on this particular project. But I still think this can have a great bull run. Would I buy at this price now? You could. It's not gonna harm, but I would like that to come down a little bit more before I get because I probably won't DCA into this. I'm just gonna buy a bag. So I want to try and get that entry price as low as possible. Fantastic though. This one, so CSPR, that I've spoken about many times. So there was the dip today, and this one over the past 30 days, kind of hasn't had that big day, where it's really gone nuts. You could argue that, but I still think this is undervalued myself. I still think it's undervalued, but obviously, if we do have a significant dip to Bitcoin, a lot of these projects will significantly dip too. So something you got to be wary of. This one, so Hello. Now, this for me is a no-brainer at the moment. We can see the dip that we had today. Every coin pretty much experienced it, and it's still not massively spiked back up again. But the reason why I still think buying this is absolutely fine at the moment, in my opinion, is this. So the Killer Whales show is being released this month. It's out January 2024. But it's the people behind it. So you've got that Wendy-O, Crypto Wendy-O. You've got the fella from Crypto Banter, Rand. You've got the Altcoin Daily lot behind it as well. And you know how big their influence is. So when this show launches, as we get into more into the bullish phase of a bull run, you are going to see those influencers promote this coin to the absolute hilt. And that will have obviously a positive impact on price. If you're getting in now, then I think the sky's the limit with potentially this project. I bought some months ago, and definitely, if I was having to buy something right now, I'll be looking at this because I think that the price will go up very fast. It may also come down very fast once they're taking their profits. It may, but anything can happen in crypto, as we already know. But I think as an educated bet, this one isn't bad at all. And then we look at the cycles and things that we've had before. So we know how important the Bitcoin halving is, and I think this is very important. We're about 4 days away from that now. That does fluctuate. But it is something to think about. And then also you've got your rainbow chart here. So we're still, in what looks like the accumulation phase. Now, will we have a little pullback? It's possible. It's possible. I can't guarantee one. No one can. But after the halvening, so if you look here, halving, bang, halving, a little bit more, bang, halving, bang. So it tends, once we get to that point, that it starts to go up. Will I continue to DCA after the halving? I don't know. It'll probably be a case of just buying dips along the way. After that, ultimately, in the goal of getting through the bull run as unscathed as possible. There's a weird advert on my screen. Fear and greed index is currently sat at 70. So you can see how, the market's kind of sitting there. Don't know why my camera's gone off. But we'll work out why. So ultimately, I want us all to do really, really well. But someone will be sitting here watching this in maybe late 2024 or 2025, and it will be too late, as these prices still aren't anything like the prices we will see in the bull market, peaks. And unfortunately, those people will be buying our bags and will have the same dilemma many of us faced in 2021, and it sucks. It does. It's horrible. But for us to win, then we have to have future buyers who have to lose, and it is a harsh reality. It is unfortunate, and it is, it's not nice, but it is how this works, and how unfortunately it will always work. I mean, I genuinely wish you all the very best as we enter the time of our lives. Life-changing money will be made, and I want you all to achieve your dreams and goals and make sure that you have a plan in place now, as you don't want to be panicking near the end and fumbling the bag. You've got this if you want it, and the time is fast approaching. It is fast approaching. So if you've been on the fence all this time, you need to start considering whether cryptocurrency is for you and whether you want to get involved, because time is running out. Again, it's never financial advice. It's just my opinion and how I see things going. Subscriber-wise, we're doing really, really well. Let's try and get through to 3,000 today. Hopefully, if we can do that, that'll be fantastic. If you did like this video, please smash the like button. Comment below your strategies for the upcoming bull run. What do you think about the ETF? What do you think about the halving? Let me know in the comments below. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic evening. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.